We're filming. What's up, guys? Josue again, my friend Caesar. We're back once again, video number 2. This video I kind of just wanted to talk about sort of my journey starting out since graduation, and more specifically how I sort of jumped into things. And that for me was learning by doing. So the path that I chose was a pretty daunting path, right? Like graduating and saying, hey, like I'm gonna make videos full time by myself independently. And I'll admit I made some pretty dookie videos, some pretty bad videos to start off, but my whole thing was, hey, like I'm not gonna get better, I'm not going to get to the next level, I'm not gonna grow as fast as I want to grow if I didn't start learning by doing. So I'd make tons of videos really fast, get really cheap videos or get really cheap gigs, make some videos for free sometimes. And along the process, I learned about lighting, I learned about audio, I learned about camera equipment. Dude, I'd spend like 3 to 4 hours a day just like watching YouTube tutorials on how to use cameras, how to use better cameras, how to use different equipment, lighting, different editing techniques. Like, that's kind of like how I got started with, with video since graduation, just kind of like jumping off the deep end and saying like, yo, like either I'm gonna learn fast or like I'm gonna have to get a job.
Yeah.
So that was like the only other alternative for me. So I got a lot of friends, a lot of family saying like, hey, Josue, like, why aren't you getting a job, right? Like my parents were like, yo, like, why aren't you getting a job? Like, we sent you to college to get a good job, to kind of lock in like a secure lifestyle, right? Like that's the reason why I did go to college. And so, to help answer that question, like, dude, me and Caesar kind of have like a very similar philosophy, especially as 21, 22-year-olds. What is kind of your philosophy like when it comes to like why not go just get a job? Like why choose into this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, especially as like, and we've talked about this a lot, especially as 21 and 22-year-olds, we're at the age, probably the only time in our lifetime where we can take really big risks, and it's okay because we have our whole life ahead of us.
Yeah.
And we can pivot at any point when we start committing to different things. But the biggest thing is like, what is the worst that can happen? The biggest, like where I got that mindset from, like I didn't just come up with it. Like it's the people that we listen to every single day. And it's, so if you guys go follow Russell Brunson, he's a huge marketing guy. In one of his podcasts, he talks about what's the worst that can happen. Like actually like make the scenario. What's the worst case scenario that can happen? So my question to you is like, what's the worst case scenario for you in terms of like, what's the worst that could happen if you were to fail? Yeah. What's the worst case? Like, go as bad as it could get. Okay. Like, what's the worst that could happen?
I mean, realistically, not that bad. Like, I feel like you're making it seem like the worst case scenario, like, really not that bad. Like, the worst thing that could happen is I completely fail at what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. I get no clients. I can't make any money. I can't pay rent. I default to just a standard job. And I kind of just do that. Like I get a job and like I just pay, like, and that to me it sounds pretty bad, which is why I didn't do that. But like big picture, like grand scheme of things, like that's not bad. And like I think like deeper, like as a person, like I think what would be even more detrimental to that is like my pride, like I feel like that's worst case scenario. Like my pride, like, you know, my family saying, yeah, like, we knew we were right all along, or like my friends saying like, what the heck, like your second business failed, like, you know, that'd be strike two. You know, like, I don't know, that to me is worst case scenario. But even then, like, dude, like, I live in America, like, I've been blessed with like tons of opportunities. Really, worst case scenario is not that bad. And so, which makes even more sense, you know, like, why not take that risk? Like, why not? And if you're out there and like you're thinking to yourself like, yo, like, shoot, like, I don't know if I should go for it. Like, I don't know if I should go like make this YouTube channel. I don't know if I should go like start this business. I don't know if I should go full time as a musician. Like, what's the worst thing that could happen? Just think about that. Like, what is it for you?
I mean, well, first of all, like, I think we should make a video after this on like why you shouldn't give a fuck what other people think, because like the worst,
that's
like
a whole different
what
topic.
he mentioned was the worst thing that could happen is like my pride and people like, you know, saying like, I knew it, like I told you so, which, you know, that it's pretty shitty actually. If you like, it does kind of suck. For me, like, I mean, if I really got into like the worst case scenario, for me, just a quick background, I actually decided not to take classes this quarter, and I don't know if I'll even go back to college and finish. So for me, I do have a lot more at stake, and I'm risking a lot more. So the worst that can happen is, you know, I you know, don't pay my lease, my lease at my commercial lease. I, you know, have to move back with my parents. I have to live with my parents because I don't have money to afford rent and bills. Move back with my parents, get a job working, you know, minimum wage, do that for a couple of years, do community college for a couple of years. Like, that's the worst case scenario. And like,
but even then,
even that's not that bad. Like
it's not like, I don't know. I feel like we've been raised in a society where if you're not doing well in school and if you're not working a higher than minimum wage job, like, you're sucking at life. And in reality, like, that's not true at all.
Yeah, definitely not.
Like, that's not true at all. And even our worst case scenarios might seem like we're doing shitty in life to some people that did get a college degree and like whatever. But like, in all reality, like, that's not that bad. And so I think it's really realizing that mentality, that perspective, and saying like, yo, like, I can go for this. The worst thing that could happen is not that bad. And I know we're saying that like a lot, but really, like, what I want to touch on, what I really wanted to touch on is the whole notion of learning by doing. I think that, you know, a lot of people who choose out of the traditional, you know, school system end up being, you know, self-learners. And really people who have to learn by doing. Have you had any, you know, experiences where you're like, shit, like, this is tough, right? Like you thought it was gonna be easier than you thought, and then, you know, you show up to a task and you're like, wow, like, I have a lot to learn. On my own.
Like countless times. You know, for me right now, is as I'm a business owner and running a brick and mortar.
He has a cell phone repair shop.
I have a cell phone repair business in downtown, and I just deal with a lot of problems with like customers, and so there has been times where there is a tough customer, there is a complicated issue with the customer where I have to step in and be the decision maker and take, you know, make a big decision, make a big call, and it sucks when you're trying to, you know, explain to people like an issue with the phone, or you know, you're about to take a big loss on a repair. And it's through going through that process and like dealing with like a really angry customer, because as a technician, you can just say like, hey, you got to talk to my boss, because it's not really my problem. And
that's big.
When you're the boss, like, you're responsible for solving the problem, and it's after you've done it so many times that Now when an issue like that comes up, it's like I just go into problem solving mode. I'm like, okay, like let's figure out what the problem is, how we can resolve it.
To kind of bring this back to, the purpose of this video, I think that by choosing into our own entrepreneurial ventures, for me, that being videography, digital marketing, for Caesar, also digital marketing, and currently a cell phone repair shop. I think that what I want to share is like, we are going through, our stories, what we're currently going through really has to do a lot with learning by doing. Like, since graduation, like I didn't have, a boss to be like, yo, like Josue, like you can't be doing this, or like, hey, I think it's better if you do this. Like, I had to go on YouTube and learn from random people and like do that. But the reason why I'm saying this is like, it's possible. Like, it's so possible. Like, we're literally doing it right now, right? But all it takes is really just an understanding of, hey, like, if I want to do this myself, I need to be a self-learner, and I need to be okay with learning by doing. And learning by doing is scary, man.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna tell me I'm just gonna go do this not knowing anything, and then I'm gonna learn from it? Like, that's scary. That's kind of dumb, to be honest. Like, that's kind of dumb. Like, not being prepared. Like, we were taught our whole lives to be prepared, to be safe, to not take risks, to mitigate risk. We went to school, but like, it taught us nothing about what we're currently building right now. And it's possible with the right mentality. And so we just want to share with you guys the mentality that I have, the mentality that Caesar has, and just share with you like how we're applying that, and kind of how we're using those mentalities to get through, the weekly stuff that comes up. For Caesar, it's a lot of customer service stuff, and technical stuff with his shop. For me, it's a lot of, making sales, finding new clients, and executing with my team to provide my clients the best product. So with that, I wanted to make this video a little bit shorter. I know the last one was like super, super long. But with that, I think, I want to wrap up. I want to try to shoot one video per week, just a, different topic every week. So with that, guys, follow Caesar on Instagram. What's your Instagram, Caesar? Bro, this guy doesn't know. Don't follow him on Instagram. Don't follow me on Instagram. I'll link it right here. Bro, what the hell? It's right here. See, it's right here. Follow Sway Media on Instagram at Sway_media_. We'll catch you guys next time.
Peace,
guys.